Hello and welcome back. Well, welcome back for the last half hour. Yes, this is the last half hour. We have 25 minutes to learn as much English as possible, and now it's just you and me, a private class. So this time, you don't need to listen to other people speaking English or Spanglish. You listen to me, a native speaker. I'm a native speaker, and today I'm going to talk about less and full. Is learning English, aprender inglés. Aquí uso el gerundio porque es un sujeto de la frase. El aprender inglés es doloroso o indoloro. Is learning English painful or painless? Painful, painless. Is an injection. You know, when you go to the doctor, if they need to extract some blood, you know, the doctor or the nurse has a syringe and puts it in it. They extract blood. Is it painful or is it painless? Painful, painless. Is when you go to the dentist, is your dentist painful or painless? If the dentist extracts a tooth, pulls a tooth, is it painful or painless? Yes, or when the dentist gives you injections to deaden your gums, lanthea, is it painful or painless? The English learning process, many people say that it's painless. Many people like to say that learning English, no problem, in 4 months, in 5 months, y de la forma más cómoda posible, usted aprenderá inglés con nuestro revolucionario método hecho por un equipo de expertos y con diccionario de regalo. And you will learn English in 5 months in a painless way, sin dolor. Yes, un proceso indoloro de aprendizaje del inglés. It doesn't exist, I'm sorry. It doesn't exist. Learning English, learning French, learning Spanish for me, learning German, Russian, Japanese, any language is a painful process. I'm sorry, it's long and painful, not painless. And people who tell you that it's painless are simply not telling you the truth. Mienten. They're lying, it's not true. It's a painful process. But sometimes pain feels good. If it's intellectually stimulating, it's not necessarily painful, but it's long, arduous, hard work, painful and painless. Useful, useless. Is English useful for you? Or is it useless? If English is useless, if you don't need it, I don't recommend you bother to learn it. There are people who, many people have different reasons for wanting to learn English. One reason is they need it desperately for their job. Another reason is their parents tell them they need it, or the parents organize classes for them. And another is simply for cultural reasons or as a hobby. In that case, it's not very painless. It's not very painful. It's quite painless if it's a hobby. I have given class to many retired people. I remember one student I had who was 73. He started as a beginner when he was 73. And when he was 77, his English wasn't bad. After 4 years, 2 or 3 hours a week, constant, and he studied a lot. So for him, learning English wasn't a painful process. It was painless. But for him, English was really useless from the practical point of view. But for him, it was useful from the point of view of his mental and probably physical health. He was using his mind. And when you use your mind, it's good. It's healthy to use your mind. And as you get older, the more you use your brain or your mind, the better health you usually have. History is full of many people who were very active intellectually, mentally, and they live very long lives. You remember Pablo Picasso? He was always active, and he lived about 94, 95. Pau Casals, the cellist, el violoncelo, he was a very active person mentally and intellectually, and he lived, I think, to 98 or 99. Bertrand Russell, the famous English philosopher and mathematician, he died when he was 100 or 99, I can't remember, and he was always active. So maybe, if you're watching this program, and you're retired, maybe it's a good idea to watch this. Maybe it's useless. Learning English, maybe it's useless from the point of view of a practical usage of the English language, but maybe it's useful for your mental health and in the end your physical health, keeping your mind active. But if you're 23, I think it's useful to sit down, pay attention to me, and watch. I consider it useful, aunque sea doloroso, even if it's painful, okay? I think it's useful. All right. Harm, harmful, and harmless. Careful, careless. Con full, con una sola L al final. Cuidadoso, dañino. Harmful, dañino. Careful, cuidadoso. Careless, descuidado. Harmless, inofensivo. Am I a harmful teacher or a harmless teacher? Harmless. I can't hurt you. I can't harm you. Now, are women harmful or harmless? For me, some women are harmful, but the majority are harmless. Spiders. In Spain, are there any harmful spiders? Or are the spiders harmless? In general, they're harmless. In this country, the snakes. Are there any harmful snakes? Serpents, snakes. Are there any harmful snakes in this country? Only one. There's only one, the viper, la víbora. It's harmful. The rest of the snakes are harmless. They're harmless. Now, careful and careless when you drive your car. Are you a careful driver or a careless driver? I'm a careful driver. I'm not a careless driver. And is your government, the government where you pay taxes, are they careful with your money or careless with your money? Are they careful or careless? Okay. Now, is poison, cyanide for example, harmful or harmless? Hemlock is another poison. Different types of poison. What poison is more harmful? Cyanide or strychnine? Strychnine is used for rats and for mice. Cyanide is very strong. It's very harmful. It's not harmless. And water? Is water harmful or harmless? Well, I imagine for most people water is harmless. For me, it's harmless. Okay, now let me ask you a question. A mobile phone, a cell phone. Is a cell phone useful or useless? For me, it's very useful. In many cases, if you're driving your car and your car breaks down, if you have your cell phone, it's very useful. All right? Is this English class useful or useless? Is knowing English, in your opinion, useful or useless? If it's useless for you, then it's pointless for you to study. Pointless. Inútil. Si el inglés es inútil para ti, entonces es inútil que lo estudies. Es una pérdida de tiempo. 2 words. Useless, pointless. Useless, pointless, como un punto, pam, a point. Useless and pointless. Objects can be useful or useless. This book is mi chuleta. This is a book, 300 pages for learning English, for teaching English. Yes, it's useful for me. For you, probably it's useless. This cup, is it useful or useless? Well, for me, it's useful. I can fill this cup with water and drink some water, so it's useful. It's not useless. For you, it's useless because you can't touch the glass or the cup. You're watching me through a television camera and you can't reach. Yo sí puedo. Even if I put it there, I can reach the cup and drink water. So it's useful. This cup is useful. It's not useless. And this microphone, is this microphone useful or useless? Well, if I turn it on, it's useful. If I keep it off, it's useless. I don't need it. Okay? Now, pointless. What's the difference between useless and pointless? Useless is for objects. Pointless is for activities. All right? Pointless. If you don't know how, if you don't know mathematics, it's pointless to apply for a job as an engineer. If you don't speak English, it's pointless to try to find a job in the United Nations, in La ONU. Pointless, useless. Now, medical treatments. Medical treatments. Are they useful or useless? I don't know. It depends. If you cut yourself and you apply alcohol, is it useful or useless? Probably it's useful because it eliminates bacteria and it helps the cut cure more quickly if you use alcohol. Now, if you use alcohol, is it painful or painless? Some people use peroxide, what you call agua oxigenada. Why? Because it's relatively painless, whereas alcohol is very painful. Okay? So, which is more useful, to use alcohol or not to use anything? Probably it's more useful to use alcohol. All right? But if you have to choose between alcohol and peroxide, it's probably better to use peroxide because it's painless, whereas alcohol is painful. Now, a necklace, a diamond necklace, for example. Some women wear jewelry. They wear rings. They wear earrings. They wear necklaces, or they wear collars and necklaces. And a diamond necklace, it's very expensive, de diamantes. Fijaos en la pronunciación. Diamond, no diamond, diamond. Now, a diamond necklace, in your opinion, is a diamond necklace useful or useless? Well, it depends on what your objective is. If you're a man and you buy a diamond necklace for a woman, well, it depends, okay, on your purpose and your objective, whether it's useful or useless. Helpful, helpless. This class, this English class, is it helpful for you? ¿Os sirve de ayuda? Is this class helpful? All right, helpful. It's interesting, we have words, painful, doloroso, painless, que no duele, opposites, careful, cuidadoso, careless, descuidado, painful, doloroso, painless, harmful, dañino, harmless, no dañino, inofensivo, que no duele, no daña, harmless, but with an useful, útil, and useless, okay? But with help, ayuda, helpful is de ayuda, servicial, but helpless is completely different. Helpless is impotente o desamparado. Do you feel helpless sometimes? If you went to England now with the English level you have, would you feel helpless? If you went to Germany now with your level of German or English, would you feel helpless? Okay. All right, useful and useless. I used to teach this a lot. Now I teach it less. I used to think that most dentists were painful, but I don't think that anymore. I used to live in a country with poisonous snakes, so there were more harmful snakes. But in this country, most snakes are harmless. I used to know a lot of important people. And I have a friend. His name is Gus Morgan, who used to know a lot of important people. He used to be rich. He used to live in a big house. He used to live in a mansion. He used to have several cars. He used to drive a Porsche and a Maserati and a Ferrari. He used to have a lot of money. He used to appear in the gossip magazines with beautiful women at his arm. Yes, he used to be rich and famous. He used to be the center of public attention, but not anymore. Something happened. Our friend, my personal friend, Gus Morgan, is in prison now. He's in prison. And he's going to be in prison for at least 10 years because he committed some crimes, and now he's in prison. He used to live like a king, but now he lives in a prison cell. He used to drink the best wines from the Burgundy region of France, from the Bordeaux region, from the Ribera del Duero in Spain and the Rioja, the Penedès area. He used to drink the best wines, French, Spanish, Italian wines. But now he drinks water every day. My friend Gus Morgan. He used to eat lunch, dinner in some of the best restaurants in Spain. Yeah, I remember. He used to go to the best restaurants. Now he only goes to one restaurant. That's the dining room in the prison. Yes, he used to eat caviar. He used to eat the best roast suckling pig, the best duck, the best beef, the best fish. But now he eats beans and potatoes every day. Yes, boiled potatoes, patatas hervidas, every day. Why? Because he's in prison. Yes, Gus Morgan used to be rich. He used to be famous. He used to be seen in the best discos, in the best restaurants, in the best nightclubs. Yes, yes, but that was before he went to prison. Now his life is very different. Now his life is very different. He has to get used to many different things. He went to prison only about 2 weeks ago. So our friend, Gus Morgan, has been in prison for about 2 weeks only. He's starting to get used to a new life. Yeah. He's not used to the life in the prison yet. He used to live in a beautiful house. Now he lives in a prison cell about 2 meters by 2 meters. 4 square meters, not very big, okay? So he used to live in a big house. He used to have a beautiful bedroom. He used to have a big king-size bed. Now he has to sleep on a bed that's only 70 centimeters wide. And so now he has to get used to living on that bed, sleeping on that bed. He has to get used to living in that prison cell. He's not used to it yet because he's only been in the prison for 2 weeks. And the food, he's not used to the food either. He used to eat the best food. Now he eats beans and potatoes every day. And he drinks water. He used to drink the best wines. He used to be the king of the mountain. Our friend Gus Morgan used to be the center of attention for everybody. He used to work in a very important position in society. Yes. And then he was caught stealing money, and he was sent to prison. And now he has to get used to a new type of life. Yes, and it will take him probably several months or even a year to get used to prison life. He needs to get used to the discipline. He used to give orders. Now he receives orders. He has to take orders. He can't give orders. He needs to get used to getting up early. He used to get up whenever he wanted. Sometimes he got up at 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock, went to the office, spent a couple of hours, and then went to have a wonderful lunch. That's what he used to do. But now he has to get used to a different routine every day. He has to get up at 7 o'clock every day, and he's not used to it. But, like all the rest of the prisoners, he'll eventually get used to it. A la larga, antes o después, se acostumbrará. Sooner or later, he'll get used to it. Prefiero incluso la expresión aquí, eventually, antes o después, al final, se acostumbrará. He'll get used to it. Ahora, estoy utilizando una forma que es used to. Constantemente estáis oyendo used to, como el monasterio de Yuste, pero con U al final, como si fuera el monasterio de Yustu. Used to. Se escribe, son 2 palabras, used, como pasado de usar, used, y luego la partícula to. Ahora, pero cuando se juntan, cuando están uno detrás del otro, se dice used to. Yo antes enseñaba más horas cada día. I used to teach more hours every day. Antes conocía mucha gente importante, ahora no. I used to know a lot of important people. I used to drink beer for lunch. Now I drink wine. I used to come to this studio in the morning for television. Now I come in the afternoon. Cuando expresas acciones, cosas que hacías o actividades que realizabas en el pasado sin precisar cuándo, acciones o hechos, para lo cual lo único importante es que ahora ya no usamos used to. Por ejemplo, yo viví en Oklahoma durante 10 años. I lived in Oklahoma for 10 years. Aquí no he usado used to, porque he expresado duración de tiempo. I lived in Oklahoma for 10 years. I lived in Texas for 9 years. I lived on Princesa Street for 1 year. I lived in Guadalajara for 1 year. Lived, el pasado simple. O, si digo el periodo de tiempo, I lived in Guadalajara from 1974 to 1975. Okay? I lived in Guadalajara in the 1970s. ¿Cuándo o durante qué duración? No se usa used to. Used to se usa solo cuando no precisas duración ni cuándo y el hecho, y incluyes el hecho o se entiende de que ya no. Si alguien me dice, por ejemplo, Richard, I'm planning to travel to Oklahoma next month. And I say, Oklahoma, I used to live there. I used to live in Oklahoma. Y si él quiere saber cuándo, when. Y luego paso al pasado simple. I lived there when I was 10 years old until I was 18 years old. I lived there for 8 years or 9 years. Yes, I used to. Now our friend Gus Morgan, he's in prison now. He's in prison. And it's a new life for him because he went to prison only 2 weeks ago. And he's going to be in prison for at least 10 years. So his life has experienced an abrupt change. Yeah. He used to lead an incredible life. To lead, como liderar, lea descrito, como leader. To lead es dirigir, guiar, pero también es llevar. Cuando hablamos de una vida, llevaba una vida espléndida. He used to lead antes. Ahora ya no. Not anymore, not anymore, not anymore, not anymore, not anymore, not anymore. No significa jamás, nunca más. Puede que vuelva a llevar una vida fantástica cuando salga de la prisión. Pero not anymore significa ya no. Ya no de momento. So, Gus Morgan used to lead a very colorful and very special life, but not anymore. He used to live in a big mansion, but not anymore. He used to drink the best wines that you can find in Spain, Italy, in Europe, but not anymore. He used to eat the best food at the best restaurants. Yeah, he used to, but not anymore. En todos los casos estoy diciendo lo que antes hacía, pero que ya no hace, sin precisar cuándo ni durante qué duración. And he used to be the king of the mountain, but not anymore. He used to appear in the gossip magazines. The gossip es chismorreo. Gossip magazines son revistas de la Prensa Rosa. He used to appear in the gossip magazines with beautiful women at his arm. Yeah, he used to drive fantastic cars, beautiful cars, but not anymore, not anymore. Why? Because he's in prison now. He's in prison now. Yes, everything has changed. He used to live well, and now he doesn't. He used to have material possessions, not anymore. He used to be important, not anymore. He used to be famous. Well, he's still famous, but gradually people will forget Gus Morgan. Okay? All right, used to. Ahora bien, en otra clase futura vamos a seguir con used to. Pero también de otra forma, porque ahora que está en la prisión, se tiene que acostumbrar a muchas cosas nuevas. He has to get used to. Ahora uso used to para algo radicalmente distinto en significado. He needs to get used to a new life. He needs, or he has to, no tiene más remedio. He has no choice. He has to get used to a new diet. He has to get used to drinking only water. He has to get used to a small prison cell, mi celda, o su celda. He has to get used to a bed. Yes, a very narrow bed, not a big king-size bed. He used to sleep in a king-size bed. Now he sleeps in a narrow bed, a very hard bed. He used to sleep on a soft bed, but now he sleeps on a hard bed. Okay? So, I will tell you more about our friend Gus Morgan in a future program. I have a lot of things to say about Gus. But for now, it's time for us to say goodbye for today. So, it's been a pleasure, as usual. Now, remember, study. Please help me with your English. Help me achieve my objective. My objective is for you to learn English as fast as possible and as painless as possible. but I need your help to do it. So, un poco de codos o muchos codos de aquí a la próxima clase, okay? Thank you, and see you soon. Bye-bye.